Well, uh, hello everyone. Can you hear me? I'm more scared than I've ever been in my entire life, but it's something that I've been spending a lot of time working towards. So, the plan for today is that I'm going to spend a while, I guess, just chatting with all of you. And then I'm going to play some Night Rain with some of my friends. And I guess that I should probably still have some sort of music in the background. this point, I'm kind of not sure where to take this, but I guess that's usual for a first stream. I guess one of the things that we could easily do here is go over the design. This is a thing that I drew myself. And it's, wait, hold on. Ended up going with the blue version. The purple version felt a little bit, I felt like I had to be purple at first, but blue felt like it worked better once I got the design worked out, you know? Probably the first element of the design that was settled on is the laces going down my neck. And these are, of course, a reference to the throat surgery that I had back in March that the community kind of rescued me from the price of. I kind of didn't want to like go over it directly in the video because I felt like it would draw attention too much to it. But like I've had speech issues since, you know, since I was young, and that's the biggest part of why I hadn't spoken on the channel before. But the throat surgery helped like fix some of the issues. But since then, I've been doing, like, speech rehabilitation therapy for pretty much this whole year. And it's made me think a lot about my voice and how I hadn't been brave enough to use it, and so on and so forth. So, it's kind of been a very long journey getting here. It probably wouldn't surprise you all to know that this stream was meant to be a Night Rain DLC stream, but then I just kind of panicked last minute and kept putting it off. So, a bit late to that, but we can still play some Night Rain after though. A lot of support already, and it's something that's been like a thing that I've been thinking a lot about this year and have worried a lot about. It's very reassuring. If you hear me coughing, that's not that's just an ongoing issue that I have. It's not like I'm only gonna die when it's dramatically appropriate at the end of my quest, and then you can pick up my items. I'm shaking a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. I've been trying to like read chat for things to talk about, but chat's going kind of fast. Oh, no, I'm not crying, but I'm just a little, I guess, full of adrenaline at this point. Things are, this is a thing that I've been working towards the whole year, so now that it's actually happening, don't exactly know how to feel about it. I guess I'd been planning to, I don't know, give it maybe 15 more minutes before starting Night Rain. Might be easier to just go straight into it though. Not sure. Oh, someone asked, how many designs did I go through before choosing this one? This actually kind of, I've iterated on this a little bit, but the core design, was pretty much the same straight from the jump. I, started from the little neck, like the ribbon piercing on the neck, and then, I just like bats, so I decided to make it a bat. And then the color scheme went through a little bit of effort. Ended up settling on like a blue look, even though it felt kind of a little bit like I should be purple, just because, you know, previous associations. Yes, I did draw this myself. Someone has asked if I did. I did draw a version with a hat at one point, but it kind of had to pick between either the hat or the ears. Yes, if you'd like to, anyone is allowed to make fan art of it. That's part of why I decided to put the whole design in the voice reveal video. I do intend to like have the option to have a hat on later, but it does make my head a bit crowded. Someone asked if you can actually get piercings like this in real life, and technically you can. They're a thing called ribbon piercings, but you can't have them permanently, is my understanding. So that's where this remains a little bit of fantasy. Oh, right. New music. Let's make things a little spooky. So we can get this a little bit bigger. We have to look at some of the specific details. I guess put it behind me. So, like, ear piercing stuff I did first, and then ended up with that like diamond shape on it, and then that became like a recurring design element with the necklace and such. Then I initially had a different version of the shawl, which was like tied in the front, but it felt like a little awkward. So I ended up going with this one that's like looser. If you feel like it, you can choose to believe that it was tied at one point and is just torn up now. So some of the design elements of this are influenced by myself in ways that are like reflective of difficulties in my life. Like naturally, the neck piercings represent the throat surgery that I had to have. The little bar on the nose, I have a deviated septum and also have had to have surgery on that. The left leg is bandaged because I have like a recurring leg pain. There's just like bits and pieces of this that are like, I'm going through it, so she is too. Someone asked if she had a name. I've been referring to this design as Lydia. Someone asked the song name, and this is Dark Reality from Kingsfield 4. I guess that is Lydia with a Y. Someone asked where I got the wings idea, and kind of just as I was drawing it, I decided to draw bat characteristics, just because bats are like my favorite animal. Oh, the movement and stuff someone has asked about, and it is being powered by a program called PNG Tuber Remix. Just have it set up in layers, and then I can like move the little bits around. Someone just asked if I knew that bats are around 1/4 of living mammal species. And I did know that. I love them. There's so many different kinds of bats. Someone has asked if I have a playlist, and I do. It's on my channel. There's a playlist called Music to Hack Dark Souls 2. Although, I think I need to update it, because I think some of the videos in the playlist have been delisted since I made it. Oh, hello, Oro. Someone has asked what my favorite Souls game is, and I think it's still probably Bloodborne. It is difficult to pick though. Elden Ring just has so much to it that it's difficult to, you know, not like a lot about it. And I should probably put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Someone has asked, what are the cords on my neck for? And that's, back in March I had a throat surgery. And so I decided to represent that with these. Someone else has asked why a bat, and it's because I love bats. I'm just a huge fan of bats. Just always have been. Someone has asked that there's an Instagram page with my name and no posts. I think I did actually get that Instagram, and I just never used it for anything. Someone has asked what type of videos are going to be voiced, and it's there are some things that I've just had trouble like videos that can't focus on like specific assets are a little more difficult to do, or like anytime I've done or tried to do trailer analysis videos, it has felt incredibly awkward to, like, do it through text. There's like a few things that are just, you know, not well suited to like speaking, or to doing without speaking rather. Someone has asked what my favorite species of bat is. I don't know if I have a specific favorite, but I love pallid bats, just because the little face they have. Someone has said there's something special about the text-only videos. I do still plan to do the text-only videos. I've had a lot of comments that I've seen of people saying that they actually prefer than the fact that I didn't talk. So I'm not wanting to disrupt that too much. Oh, hello, Neff. I felt for a long time that, like, my style of videos feel in a way similar to, like, reading item descriptions in a way that's like, I think you would lose something of it if you voiced them specifically. Let's pick another song, I guess. I guess actually, I took down the image there because I was like, it's been up there for a while, and then people are probably still coming in, so it's kind of not necessary to take it down. Someone has asked if my model has bad posture, and I had kind of thought about that a little bit, of like making her kind of a creature. One thing that I definitely felt like I couldn't really do silently were shorts, like YouTube shorts. So you can probably expect to hear a lot of the voiced content in the shorts feed now that I've done the big reveal. Someone has asked Revenant or Recluse. I've literally only played Recluse the entire time that I've played Night Rain. I have like nearly 300 games of Recluse. Well, I guess now is probably a good time to start playing. I could go on a little bit longer with just chatting with everyone, but at the same time, I also feel like there's been a lot of dead air on my part. I'm not great just yet at keeping up the stream just by myself, I feel like. Oro has said, please no gameplay. We can keep going with this for a little longer if you guys want to. So, Pineapple is in chat. Didn't see the actual message from him, but happy that he's here. That said extended, I didn't expect it to just do that. Yeah, I see your message now, Pine, and yeah, they're moving. Chat is very active, and kind of expected a lot of people, but this is saying there's around 3,000 of you, and that is someone saying the volume on the music probably needs to be turned down. Okay. That down a little bit. Someone has asked if I'm going to stick with the PNG tuber model or move to a VTuber model. At the moment, the PNG tuber model is like the main plan, but it's a possibility. Someone has commented, has a working voice box, and not entirely. I spent most of the year working on getting my voice box to this point, and has been a whole ordeal. Someone has asked, is your PNG tuber model still called Zuli? And I've been referring to the model as Lydia. Someone has asked if this is Lunacid music. This is the Twilight Realm from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Has asked, is that why I sound a little raspy? And it is, yeah, a little bit. I had throat surgery near the start of the year, and it kind of improved my ability to speak, but it also meant that I had to do a lot of rehabilitative speech therapy stuff. But it was better than where I was before. I also probably have just not drank as much drank enough water today. Someone has asked if I'm a strength or a dex build, and sadly neither. I'm kind of a mess in real life. People are now sending me money to drink, which I don't know if that's gonna work. But I still appreciate it, I guess. I'm actually going to take a moment to go get some water, which is a thing that I should have done before this, obviously, in retrospect. But, I'll be right back. can tell how unprepared I am by the fact that I didn't even have a be right back screen, which is something that I should probably work on. Hopefully the water has helped things a little bit. I had thought to myself that there'd be like a couple hundred of you in here, and that would feel like a lot. It's saying that there's 3,700 of you. So, imagine the feelings. I'm appreciating all of the kind words, though. Conveniently, the fact that I drew my own model and the design for it means that I can pretty easily set up stream assets, but I'm just gonna have to actually do them. Someone has asked, did I rig it as well? I did. It's just going through a program called PNGTuber Remix, and that's pretty easy to use actually. Let's get something with a little more energy to it. I already see people recognizing the Armored Core in the chat. Someone has asked if I have a favorite Pokemon, and it is, of course, Zubat. When I was a little girl, they had Zubat plushes that you could get at KFC. And that was the first ever physical merch I had of a Pokemon. And I always loved bats, so kind of just cemented it as number one. Someone has asked, do I think that Crobat fits the Zubat line, or it should have ended at Golbat? Honestly, there's like a long time where I didn't like Golbat that much. But I've come around on it eventually. But I was very happy to get Crobat. Someone has asked, will you be adding a Moonlight Greatsword to the model? And honestly, that's like a pretty good segue into why I made the model to begin with, which is that I've kind of been feeling strange about the idea of encroaching too much on the character of Zuli the Witch. Obviously, I'm associated with the character now to an extent that has probably drowned out a lot of things with the original character. And so I especially felt like it would be strange to still represent myself as Zuli if I did anything outside of From Software. So, with the idea of like wanting to stream, I felt like I needed at least this much. I'm still going to continue to use the like Zuli name for the channel, just because I feel like that would get strange otherwise. But it felt like it was more respectful to the people who actually designed Zuli for me to not just take the character and roll with it. Someone says the biggest reveal is Zuli and not Zully. Well, the thing is, it's never actually said anywhere in the game, so it's kind of up to personal interpretation. I'm trying not to cough into the mic too much. Oh, I've forgotten the music again. You can tell how prepared I am by the fact that I don't have a playlist ready. The thing is, I had expected to like switch over to gameplay at this point, but there's still so many questions being asked, and so I'd feel a little strange just ignoring chat in favor of playing Night Rain. Someone has asked, is this Toon Link music? This is Farron Floods from Skyward Sword. Someone has asked, did I play Sekiro? I did. It's, I'd say maybe my third favorite. The loosely defined Soul series. You can argue for not including it, but I still kind of do. Someone has asked why Dark Souls 2 is my favorite, and sadly it's not, because if you equip, I have a video about this, if you equip the Black Witch hat, it hides the collar on the Black Witch set, and I can't forgive that. To not make a joke about it though, I did enjoy Dark Souls 2, but the more that you learn about it, the more that it is haunted by the shadow of the Dark Souls 2 we never got. There's a little bit of Dark Souls 2 that's just sad to me in that regard. Someone has asked if the persona has a name. It is Lydia. Someone has asked why I prefer to use the Oolacile set instead of Beatrice in Dark Souls 1. And that's, the thing is, it's kind of never been about picking the witch character. It's always been about, like, picking my favorite character from each game. So, when you launch the Dark Souls 1 debug, it starts as just a default character. So you have to, the easiest way to, change how you look and all that is to just pick an existing character and copy them. So I went with Dusk, kind of before I became known as Zuli the Witch. Or as, I guess, at a time after I became known as it, but before I had, like, the YouTube channel and all of that, where it was, like, a whole thing. Someone asked, why is Lydia a bat and not a witch? Both. Both a witch and a bat. Someone has asked, why wait until now to talk? I go over this a bit in the voice reveal video on the main channel, but I also don't go over a bit of it, and it's like, I had to do a bunch of rehabilitative speech therapy stuff. If you think my voice sounds weird, there's a little bit of that that's still lingering. Hello, Plague. Oh, another... Need more music. Here we go. There's a joke that I'd been planning to do that I haven't done so far, which is that it's a good one for this. I was just gonna, like, cycle through a bunch of my thumbnails. Someone has asked, will you be streaming from now on? And, yeah, I've been, like, thinking about what I'm planning to do exactly. Honestly, I was thinking about streaming, like, the Pokemon DLC, even. Someone has asked, what's the last model kit I've built? And I only ever have done the one, and it was the Oracle build from, I believe, Nexus. Seen someone ask about my specific speech issues, and to my understanding, it's like there was a restricted range of motion to my vocal cords, and they had to kind of like rearrange things a little bit. Someone has asked if I have lore for Lydia, and at this point I kind of don't. There's some things that I thought about, and then I never really settled on anything specific. Someone has asked what my favorite starter Pokemon is, and for a long time it was Torchic, but it is now blanking on the name. Sprigatito. Someone has asked, so you got a favorite manga? I guess if you had, like, if I had to ask at this exact moment, the one that comes to mind is Land of the Lustrous. Had someone ask if I happen to partake in Berserk, and yeah, I've read through all of it. Someone has asked, can we get a new thumbnail? Sure. What's a fun one? I need to just have a bunch of these and it'll pick them randomly. I think that this one's funny to go with because I wasn't thinking about it when I designed the character, but I do have the Gold of Grace in my eyes. Someone's asked Lobos, he'd like to play Night Rain with me, and he agreed to it. You can tell him that I would also agree to that. Someone has asked if I have any piercings IRL. I don't. Thought about it, but Plague has asked, seamless co-op when? It's a strange thing that I've never really been that interested in multiplayer, just like generally speaking, up until Night Rain. The music has ended, so we need a little more. Someone has asked if I played Lunacid. I haven't. It's one that I've like thought about, and I guess if I'm gonna be streaming a bunch of games, I should think more about what I'm gonna be playing. Someone has commented on having their own speech issues and how they like the necklaces as a result, and I agree. I'm glad that you see a bit of yourself in them. I should probably also be responding to the donations. Thank you, Sir Wilhelm. Someone has asked, have I ever watched Attack on Titan? I have. My older brother is like a huge fan of it. I'm questioning a little bit if I should mention family stuff like that now that I think about it, but oh well. Thank you as well, Google Slides 4589. Someone has asked where my music choice comes from, and a lot of it, I have like actively tried to look for more music that I think would go well with videos, but there's like a specific cadence that it needs to have. At least it feels like to me, the videos to like match the pace of the subtitles. But there's honestly a lot more music that I would listen to that I wouldn't put in a video. Someone earlier asked if I could put on Holy Forest, so here's that. Someone has asked, do you have any pets? I have 2 cats. A younger one named Violet, and an older one named Tammy. If you hear a cat meowing in the background at any point, it is almost certainly Tammy. Violet barely ever speaks at all. Thank you, Flocka and the Not So Martkin, for the donations. Someone has asked what my whiskey choice is, and I hate to break it to you, I've never drank alcohol in my whole life. Someone has asked if I've thought about hiring someone to score the videos, and I have thought about that. It's a thing that I'd be interested in looking into more. Someone has asked if I plan on going back and voicing my old videos. I think that the way that that will manifest is that there are some video concepts that I think would work for like a YouTube short that I don't think anybody is on the YouTube short feed to be reading text. So I think that I may do some voiced shorts content that is the same information as some of the previously non-voiced videos. Someone has asked about the stitching on my throat, and it is, I've mentioned this a couple times. It's about the throat surgery that I had back in March of this year. Someone has asked my opinion on fruit bats. Love them. Big fan of bats. Also, people asking for lore content for my character here. Not a vampire bat. Lydia is also a fruit bat. Someone has asked what my favorite video that I've made so far is, and it's a bit difficult to pick, but obviously I have a soft spot for the one where Yorm gets very small. Because the thing is, I truly made that video in like a panic. Like, I didn't have an idea for, well, I had an idea for what video to do that day, and this was when I was uploading daily, but it fell through. And so, like, kind of last minute, I put together the script to make Yorm shrink and get faster, and just kind of went with that. And I had no idea that it was going to be the most viewed video on my channel. I thought it was straight up a fever dream, essentially. Someone has asked what got me into Souls-likes, and that was an interesting coincidence. I used to work at a grocery store, and like right near the grocery store, there was a used game store. And so just on my lunch break at one point, I went over to the used game store and I saw Dark Souls. And the only thing that I knew was like, I thought I've heard that this is good. And so I just bought it there. It was like, I think less than $10. And it has shaped my entire life since that. It's never the decisions that you think are important. Well, I shouldn't say never. I'm sure there are plenty of important decisions that are still important after. But it's similar to the whole thing with like how I ended up getting the name Zuli, which was also entirely just a random incidental thing. What ended up being very funny was that I had been an Armored Core fan for a long time, and I just didn't know they were the same company. Oh, music. Someone has asked if I ever played Last Raven, and I did. The thing is, I don't know kind of how to describe if it was good or not. The thing that I found interesting about like my history in gaming is that there are a lot of games that I have learned in retrospect were regarded as like very difficult games. But for me, I never like really processed if games were difficult or not. Like I would just get a game and I'd play it. And if it was difficult, it was difficult. If not, not, you know? I'd just get through it. There's like some obvious signs of how I'd end up being a fan of the Soul series there. Someone has asked, will I do this more often? That is the plan. Someone else has asked, who's the best level up character? And honestly, I'm gonna say Melina. And the reason is, Melina is the only one who I got to the end of the game and thought, I need more Melina. It's been my opinion that it would have been really fun to have Melina just like appear at Sites of Grace more often. Someone has asked, will I be streaming with other popular Soul streamers? I do intend to. Someone has asked, won't streaming hurt your throat? And earlier in the year I would have said yes. This is like part of the reason that it has taken this long is that this is around when I felt like I could handle it. Someone has asked, does this act as therapy? And yeah, kind of a little bit. Like, I was told to, like, part of the reason that I was, like, playing a bunch of Night Rain with friends was to, like, just get through talking more. So, having an excuse to actually talk in my day-to-day life is probably useful for that. So, the song that had just been playing was Egg Mines from Kingsfield 4. But now it is not playing anymore, and we need to find more music. I'm gonna ask for Quist from Kingsfield 3. Sure, we can do that. Someone has asked for a new thumbnail. What's a fun one? Yeah, this was going to be one of the bits that I was thinking of doing. I'm just very large all of a sudden. Well, someone's asked about the Yorm thumbnail, but that one's not actually about being small. That's just general anxiety. Someone has asked, what is my GPU? I think a 3080 Ti. It is very interesting to see the various speculations about where I'm from. I don't know that you're going to be able to get it just from the way that I sound, because my voice is kind of a work in progress. Someone has asked favorite Souls boss. That is actually a very difficult question. I'm gonna say too difficult. I can't narrow it down. I guess actually, would it be cheating to say one of the unused bosses from Bloodborne? There's something very special about all of the unused Bloodborne stuff that you can get to from the edited Chalice dungeons that I find very endearing. Someone has asked what my favorite childhood cartoon show was, and weirdly I'm gonna pick Inuyasha, which is a show that I may not have necessarily been meant to watch as a child, but, you know, who can stop you? Someone has asked, why shouldn't I have watched it? It was just on Adult Swim. So, explicitly not for children. But, to be honest, it's not really that bad. Violent, I guess, but... Someone has asked, what am I using for background music? This is Lanayru Desert from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Well, now it's not, because the song ended. No, it is Sealed Grounds. Also from Skyward Sword. Someone has asked, do I play an instrument? I don't. I tried to use, so my brother wanted to be in percussion. He got a trumpet instead. And then he didn't like the trumpet. So then the next year, I got a trumpet. And the trumpet didn't work very well. I don't think my older brother took very good care of it. So that's as far as I got. When I was very young, we had a neighbor that had a piano, and I tried to learn some of that, but never kept up on it. Someone has asked, who's the artist that drew your avatar? That would be me. I did it. I guess there's probably people in here now who haven't seen the full design. For those of you who are who weren't around when we were talking about it before, this is I've been referring to her as Lydia. Someone has asked, why bat and not witch? Both things. Someone has asked, what made you decide to have your avatar be like a bat as opposed to being similar to Zuli? And the thing is, like I mentioned this earlier, it's a little bit of like not wanting to encroach too much on the character of Zuli. I'm gonna ask, will the channel change names? No. I'm still planning to keep it just the same as this. But, kind of part of this is that it felt like it would be very strange to take the character of Zuli and, like, use her as my character, especially if I, played something that wasn't a From Software title. Someone has asked if I have a Blue Sky where I post art. I do have a Blue Sky, and I did technically recently post art on it, but that's not how I usually use it. But it is just Zuli the Witch on Blue Sky. Someone has asked if the strings are on the neck or inside the neck. In real life, for a piercing like this, they would just be on the neck. Like the actual style of piercing like this, you just get a bunch of rings and then they lace through the rings. But this is fantasy. They can be inside the neck. Someone has asked if I have a favorite song, and a thing that is like like true about me in general is that I have a very difficult time picking a favorite anything. So the rare few favorites that I have are things that are like deeply ingrained in there. Someone has asked if someone pulls on the strings, do I make a sound? And what happens if someone pulls on the strings is that they stop making sounds forever. Someone has asked, do you like horror games? And kind of, yeah. I've played some amount of horror games, and there are certain ones that I like. But I wouldn't say that it's like a genre that I have like a deep knowledge of. But stuff like Dead Space or the Resident Evil series. I think that especially Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 8 on the PSVR 2 are like the best VR anything. Someone has asked if they can take inspiration from my design and myself. Yeah, go ahead. Someone has asked if the gold on my nose is Band-Aid or also a piercing. And the real answer is that it's a reference to nasal strips. So I guess it's a magic nasal strip. I guess it'd be like those magnetic ones that just rest on your nose. Someone has asked if this is an AI voice, and no, I spent like the whole year getting better at talking. It took a lot of work. Someone has asked favorite flying mammal, and I think that's too much of a gimme. Someone has asked, have I ever played Shadow of the Colossus? I did, and I thought that it was, like, it's one of those games that if it resonates with you, it really does. And it's also the sort of game that resonates with a lot of people. Someone said they love me right now. They're a lesbian. I probably shouldn't say that I'm also thinking similar thoughts recently. I don't know why I said I probably shouldn't say and then went on to say the thing. Oh wait, we already had that one. Someone has asked, how long did it take to finalize my character? It's kind of funny, because like I've been working on the character kind of here and there for a couple months now. And so, like, I'm fully used to this by now. And it's interesting to think about how this is the first time that all of you are seeing it. Someone has asked what my setup is. This is just PNG Tuber Remix. Someone has asked if I'd like people to refer to me differently or keep using Zuli. I think it's fine to just keep with Zuli. I've wanted to, like, distance myself a little bit from, like, using the character design outside of From Software games, because it felt like it'd be, you know, a little rude almost to the people that made her, for me to, like, take her as if she's my own thing. But I think the name is still fine to use. Someone was asked who made the PNG Tuber, and that was me. I did it. Someone has asked what my biggest challenge in my first Souls playthrough was. And I got spoiled on things a little bit. A friend told me about the Drake Sword, and then told me about Quelaag's Fury Sword. So there's a little bit where I didn't end up hitting the wall in the same way that a lot of other people did on their first playthrough. But if I had to guess, it was probably Ornstein and Smo still. Someone has asked who my favorite boss in Shadow of the Erdtree was. I'm a big fan of R'Lana. I think it was very funny that I spent a long time on the final boss, and then like the first time or the second time, I don't remember, like one of the first, like almost immediately when I used what am I trying to say, deflecting hard tier, as soon as I went Sekiro mode, you just died immediately. Someone asked if my voice was always this raspy. Yeah, kind of, like even before the surgery. The surgery changed how it sounds a little bit, and I've had to get used to that, but it was always kind of, you know. I need to stop ending all of my sentences with, you know. I imagine many of you don't. A lot of people asking about the surgery. It was like a corrective surgery, just in my throat. Couldn't talk very well. I still kind of can't, but the surgery helped. Someone has asked, do you play Magic the Gathering? How excited were you to get a reveal card? I do play Magic, and like, there could not have been a more perfect card for me to get than Zoraline. I feel so special to have that as part of my personal history with the card. Someone has asked what my favorite color in Magic is, or color combo in Magic is, and it is black-white. That's part of why Zoraline was the perfect card for me to get. Someone has asked what my favorite finger is, and I'm gonna say Yellow Finger Hazel. Someone has asked if I've ever played Kingdom Hearts. I have. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Like the main ones, and the ones that are on Nintendo handhelds. That didn't have PlayStation handhelds. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about Dream Drop Distance, but you can get a little bat friend, so I think it's good, actually. Alright, so I think that this would probably be a good time to switch over to Night Rain for a bit. Although before that, I'm actually going to go use the bathroom. Alright, I'm back. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. just gonna set up playing with my friends real quick.
Testing, testing.
Oh, hold on. I think you are. I think the audio's coming through. So, give me a minute. Hold on. Okay. They're gonna be muted. Just playing with me. I do, in fact, main recluse. Yeah, I should not take up so much of the screen realty. As you can see, I'm joined by Dragonair and Ditto. The new map was a little bit daunting initially, but I think, like, having played it for a little bit now, it's actually not so bad. Very good to get lightning this early. The magic lightning cocktail is very good. Oh, Libra is here. May end up needing to get a few more runes if Libra has the Symbol of Avarice deal available. Sadly, none of those are that great for me. I guess if either of you need to get more runes, try pinging twice real quick. I'm glancing at chat, still trying to keep up with it, but that's definitely a skill you have to cultivate, I guess. Oh. Well, you got me. We have a bit of a strategy going through this, but this guy is essentially the real boss of this area for that part. if I end up playing a bit sloppy, it probably has nothing to do with the fact that 4,000 people are watching me. Totally unrelated to that. I'm just bad at the game if I'm doing bad. For people asking, this is on PC. There are a bunch of things in here that can drop legendaries. And like, even these regular chests can drop purple weapons. So even though you're like at half health, it's very productive to come to this area early. Rotten crystal staff, good place to start. And there's a chest over here that has talismans in it. Oh, could you grab that for me? I already jumped down. You do end up not getting to do the crystals very early, but typically we haven't had much issue with that. Divine Beast Warrior, he's free to just live his life. Spellcasting speed. I think that that's better than this. If I can just get my own FP. I'm too in the habit of breaking the chest open because I'm used to having a scholar around. And then there's also a nice little merchant here. Typically I like to look through for the like wraiths while walking passive. There's a crystal. I guess let's head over this way. We can glance around and see if there's any crystals down. Oh, there are actually. I guess actually I'll head this way to get these crystals. Oh wait. Did not notice that Dragonair has already gone down there. Well, time to keep an eye out for That's a spot where one could be, but it is not there, sadly. Oh, I'm flying straight to one. Oh, there's also one right near the bird. We'll be able to get there immediately. It's kind of funny because this map initially seems like it'd be tougher, but then once you start like getting the crystal power and just spamming your ults, it's kind of silly. I guess from here, I'm gonna head over to get that church. And then we'll fight whatever's over here. It'd probably be nice if I had like the wherewithal to be able to carry a conversation that is not related to just what is happening on screen. But I guess we could maybe kill this first. At the moment, my head is completely empty. I'm gonna go ahead and ult. I think I have a better spell for this. Oh. I constantly like wiggle around while I'm casting, and it's mainly just because like muscle memory from all the times where I've gotten wraiths while walking. Loose stats. We spell FP down. The circle's pretty close. I think we'll also have time to kill whatever is up here. That's a Leonine. That's very easy to kill. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, just because it's basically free. Honestly, complete overkill, but here's the fun thing about the crystal power. You just chug your flasks, it comes back, and then you get your flasks. We will jump to the crystal and then jump over there. It is a hippo. Well, same thing. Oh, Giant's Flame. The thing that I'm worried about the most, and which is almost certainly going to happen or has already happened, is that since I don't play the other characters, I never know what is good take for other people. There's like a couple of them that I know, but I could end up passing up one of the really obvious ones. And this will be the Demon Princes. I'm still sad that we have the Demon Princes and they're bats, but they're like pre-boss fight is these guys instead of a bunch of bats. I was really happy that Demon Princes were one of the bosses that came back. They're like a very good fight. And just obviously unbiased in general. The like one complaint that I have about Night Rain, I mean there's like some incidental stuff, but the like one true structural complaint that I have is that they didn't take more. I think that they could have had any number of returning bosses, and I'd be happy to see like most of them. I appreciate the ones that they did grab, but feels like it could have easily been the Smash Bros. Ultimate Everyone is Here game. One of the other very good things about breaking open the crystal early is that it is like it makes traversal incredibly easy. You can just go anywhere from anywhere very quickly by just getting to the crystal. I spent too much time talking and not paying attention to my health. Could one of you get me? As I said earlier, my head is empty. I'm doing my best to think, but a little compromised. Look, if that's the most embarrassing thing that I do on stream, then it will have been a good stream. Saw someone ask why I'm a bat. It's because I love bats. think that these guys are very funny because they're technically unique to Night Rain. All they are, though, is just a larger Royal Revenant. Oh, Cannon of Haima. We love to see Cannon of Haima. I'm now the healer of the party. For those of you who don't know, if a player goes down at 3 bars, it takes 240 points of revive damage to get them back up. And Cannon of Haima does 130 with each shot. It is insanely good. Oh, look, an old friend. I don't actually know how good it is for attacking. See how I accidentally revived my friend there? Cannon is just such a comical spell. Although, in case you are wondering, it is like almost never worthwhile to charge a spell, revive people with. Its cannon goes from 130 to 136 fully charged. Almost a little insulting. I just have this again. May as well. Well, one of the things that you need to know about it, though, is that cannon has 2 parts to it. Like the projectile and the explosion, and they both do 65 each. So Smelter took the projectile there and prevented my friend from getting hit by it, so they didn't get revived immediately. Think that the less likely to be targeted on it is a little awkward, but oh well. We may have to leave this one and go to the other place, but it depends on if the boss on the roof is particularly strong or not. If we get like an easy one, we may be able to do it. But there are a lot of them that you just run away from in this situation. He is taking damage, so I did that without checking if our Undertaker was here yet, so that was my bad. Okay, well, we got punished for that one. The thing that is especially rough about this is that it seems like if you all die, then when you come back, she gets all her health back. Really, the mistake there is that I accidentally fired off that glintstone arc instead of the Cannon of Haima that I meant to cast, which would have gotten both of them back up. Oh, I see what they were trying to say. Well, I messed that up. Well, let's see if we have any more luck in this tower. I think of all the demigods, or rather all the shard bearers, Godric is probably the one who would be most sympathetic about the feeling of embarrassing yourself on a live stream. He seems like the sort of person who would worry about such things himself. Yeah, even if it's a little awkward to have died in the other tower, it's still, like, plenty good to just steamroll the other one. The way these are structured, like, you just get your alts back each floor and then kind of mow down the boss as quick as you can, and you get a lot of legendary drops. It's especially useful to have an Undertaker when you're using your ult as a Recluse, because then the enemy gets staggered and you just get a bunch of free spells on them. I grabbed the improved charge thing earlier and I just haven't been charging it. Well, this may be a moment for discretion. I don't think we're going to try to take on the third floor boss this time. But I am going to do this. If a boss looks like it's pretty close, you can just chug through your ult, or chug through your flask to get your ult back. It's a little risky, because now I don't have any healing for the rain, but I have healing from my ult, so. I do need to get over to the Grace when it spawns. Not punished. But now we have to get out of here very quickly. Might be able to get them. Stars of Run, also pretty good at reviving. Let's see. This is an awkward place to navigate. No, I don't think that will make it. This will. I ended up playing a little greedy by pushing for Fighting Dancer in the rain. So we're gonna be not at full maximum level. Oh. Died to the timer. Oh well. It gives me a little bit of time to read the chat instead. How are you all doing? Still, this is not at all a cause for concern. It can be a little awkward sometimes when you have like the kind of rough cocktail you don't want to cast, but then you need to be able to collect an affinity, get Terra Magica up. Didn't quite reach. And that's the power of Cannon of Hyma. I don't know if it was audible, but Violet came up and meowed at me. Which is rare. He's pretty quiet. wake up. Affinity attack power. It's not always immediately obvious, but affinity attack power covers any damage source that is, you know, one of the elemental affinities. So it's even valid for spells. We can try to get some of these guys. Just a little too early on that. I don't think it's going to be productive though. You'll probably kill like a handful of them. Yes, not the physical spells. Affinity effects. You know, fire, magic, lightning, and holy damage. You should be taking it as Recluse. Oh wow, that actually did pay off. Killing that one enemy was enough to get me to 12. If only I were a better streamer, I would have just, you know, implied that I had deliberately done all the calculations. If I can get multiple of them at the same time, Glintstone Arc could actually do pretty well here. Oh yeah, ditto. If you can drop the Winged Greathorn for me if you're not using it, that'd be great. Let's see. I guess let's drop that. So for this, you can tell if you're in the danger zone because there's the big rays of light. Go ahead and ult. Oh, you're already up, but either way. Rolled backwards into another fissure. the best healing magic is a cannon directly to the face, apparently. This is also probably a good time for this. I can get you back up. That's the power of Cannon of Haima. Now I'm sure that narratively nothing bad will happen from having disrupted the balance, in the game's own words. So, how is everyone in chat doing? I just realized I've been reading all of everyone's messages and not saying anything about it, which is half of what a streamer is supposed to be doing. Someone has asked how my first stream is, and gotten over the nerves a little bit. At least I'd like to think that I have, but I did definitely play a bit sloppy in that run, I felt like. Someone asked, so is Night Rain canon? And kind of a weird spot. I feel like it is designed in such a way that it could easily be canon without affecting anything. From what I understand, the round table is like a little bubble on the timeline that exists for the purpose of containing the night. Like it's all engineered to like trap the night inside of it and then have it dealt with by the Nightfarers and then not do anything to the main timeline. So I think that it's still like any of the things that happened in it could have happened in the main timeline. Like presumably the Witches of the Woods and the Pinion Folk and all that stuff do exist. We just never hear about them because they're not in the lands between. But time and all that stuff is a little wobbly anyway. Someone has asked who my favorite Nightfarer is, and let's go take a peek. Let's go inspect. Now, this may look a little lopsided. I've played 1 or 2 games. I guess since we fought the Balancers, let's do a run of our other friend here. Someone asked if I got the DLC solely for the bosses, and the map is good. I like the map as well. Someone asked what effect was recharging my ult. If you break the crystals in the Great Hollow, and then you touch the big crystal in the middle, it just gives you a buff where if you run out of flasks, you get your ult back. I guess let's just head over to the big fort and do the same that we did last time. We've been calling them castles, but I looked in the visual codex, and apparently they're forts. But at the same time, they don't seem to count for the relic effect that gets you, I think, stamina for killing enemies at a great fort. Or great enemies at a fort. So I don't know why they called them forts. I see that people have said Fort Knight, and I guess that's true. The classic Fort, Knight. Always check up here. There is in fact a crystal here. Love to see it. Before I really committed to the idea of streaming, I did think about doing the joke of just streaming and it's nothing but like Korok Forest Night playing in the background. These two are a lot easier to deal with than the bird. Guess I'm taking both of those. Although, I don't know if our scholar might like this, actually. Hold on to it. I think someone probably wants that. Oh, I kind of forgot about the talisman room. I guess we can go back for the talisman room. I think it's useful to do it, and then you head outside and get the, it takes you back to the grace, which is useful. I'm just gonna do this. I really like Recluse's ult for the utility of, like, someone is down at 1 bars and I can't be bothered to go get them. All you gotta do is just... The radius on it is so large that you can get them from quite a ways away. And then just go right back to what you were doing. I wanted to ask what my favorite boss in every Souls game is, and I don't have like a great answer for every Souls game, but I still think you'd be hard pressed to beat Ludwig, just in general. But for Dark Souls 1, I've always been very partial to Calamite. Well, just cast that directly into a pillar. Dark Souls 2 is maybe Ivory King. Dark Souls 3. Trying to decide if it's just Gale. I do like the bats, as I've mentioned already. Elden Ring has just so many bosses to pick from. It would be especially difficult. Narrow that down. I don't know. Also, I haven't really like replayed Elden Ring much. The older games I had replayed a bit more because I kind of like got into them before I was doing a lot of like hacking stuff as much. But, like Elden Ring, I beat it and then kind of just got started, like got to work on it. Which there's part of me that like sometimes feels a little like, I don't know. I've always tried to prioritize my experience as a player over like hacking the games. But there are definitely times where it's a conflict. Favorite boss for Demon Souls? I'm guess they're wanting to kill this dragon. I'm gonna go with Maiden Estrella. It's like all of the bosses in Demon Souls are a lot more like a puzzle. And the puzzle for Estrella is morality. The trickiest puzzle of all. Someone's asked if I like tea or coffee. Me tea. I'm not a fan of coffee at all. I've had a bunch of friends that are fans of coffee, and they've given me what is ostensibly good coffee. But just something about it, the taste has never agreed with me. Naturally, while recovering from throat surgery, I got quite acquainted with the like sore throat kind of recovery tea stuff, and so I like that. We could maybe try to kill one of the bosses over here, then use the crystal to hop into the center. Maybe both of them, depending on who's who. Last time there was just a leonine up in the top part. That's a deer, and that's semi-humans. This one's very easy to get rid of. The only thing that like keeps you from spamming your ult all the time is that there's a slight delay. I don't actually know how long it lasts, but if you like chug all of them, then they don't immediately come back. That is to say, if you have restocked your ult by chugging flask, there's a cooldown where chugging your flask again won't restock it. I'm just gonna go for this. Then I need the grace to appear promptly. There we go. All calculated. Bloody Helix. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I guess because it's a helix. I guess that's probably it. Oh good lord. They dropped me directly into bears. And then we have an easy path to get back to the crystal after we kill this thing. But that's right, I do have fire. Bears are weak to fire. Although I don't know if they're weak to it enough for it to be better than Shattering Crystal. Kinda doesn't feel like it. And then we just collapse the gravitational field on him. I've spent a lot of time worrying about, like after I had recovered my voice more and was able to like talk for longer amounts of time. I spent a lot of time worrying about trying to get my voice to be somewhere that sounded good for like presentation. You know, just like if I'm gonna be doing videos, I don't want a voice that sounds bad for videos. And I'm not like entirely sure that I'll get there, but also like I'm maybe a little too close to it to be able to be a good judge. Also, I was thinking a bunch about that, and this guy killed me for it, so I'm gonna take that as meaning that they think that I should get over my fears, or they'll kill me for it. a good practice to get in, but I always forget to. I have a habit of forgetting to. Just chugging while their death animation goes. Well, they just dropped a Giant's Red Braid. I'm just gonna take my Lusat staff. Oh, that's actually good for me. Lusat's with Shattering Crystal. Expertly dodged. I'd be mad if it weren't, you know, impressive, honestly. Not sure what's better between Dragon King or me getting Gelmer's Fury. Need to chug real quick though. Just decided to go for it. I don't know if other people have the same kind of brain issues that I do, but I have to have staves in my right hand and seals in my left hand. I don't know why. Oh, I forgot to get my ult, so I'm just gonna do that. I did just notice that I'm constantly dying from the effect of the tower. So I'm gonna go back and get my flasks real quick. I guess I probably could have stayed up there. They'd probably be dead by now if I'd stayed up there. Well, oh well. We didn't get caught in the rain for it this time, so it works out one way or another. Morgoths. I guess I probably should have grabbed that myself. Yeah. Oh well. There've been a couple times where we've managed to get both towers. It's usually if I have Meteorite of Astel. The whole, like, essentially unlimited alt plan and Meteorite of Astel go very well together. Someone has asked if I'm playing with chat or friends. These are friends. I figured it'd be easiest to play with people that I've played with a bunch, because we generally all know where to go. But I can, like, play with chat in Future streams, maybe. And that's why I thought it was fun to get Gelmers. Yeah. Gotta get my ult first. So this is what I mean kind of by this map getting a little silly once you get the crystal buff. Oh, that's Morgott, another boss who's weak to fire. Yep, no escape for somebody. Oh yeah. I don't know what's better for them between these two. I'm seeing now the pick should have been Axe, apparently. My bad. Not super efficient because the other one hasn't spawned yet, but you may as well. Just for style points. It's kind of entirely unnecessary. Marika's hammer. There's my apology for grabbing the wrong weapon earlier. But you can see I have this like blue aura on me now. If I chug all of my flasks, well that's still up and I don't get my ult back. I'm gonna need to try to hit Grace before we get there. always a little worried to just blindly jump over ledges on this map. I have a vague idea of where the pits are, but not enough to feel confident. Oh well. I guess it's worth dipping back into the rain for that. I guess that's a lost cause then. Honestly, that's still easily close enough to get the runes back, as long as they go before the boss is dead. Because the added damage doesn't kick in until the night boss is dead. And for those of you who don't know what boss is about to spawn, you're in for a treat. It's the man, the myth, the legend. Knight Artorias. I can get you. Oh. A little awkward if one of your shots get blocked. Yeah. Also a little awkward if you get stabbed in the face. Probably better off going for the kill. Well, But that attack ignores iframes. Fun fact. There was kind of nothing I could do in that situation. During the awkward moment where I have to dump the cocktail. That was a little greedy at the end, but never worried. And then he goes back to Dark Souls 1. I think that this canonically happened in Dark Souls 1. He got grabbed by Manus, pumped full of dark, sent off to Night Rain, got beat up by some random people, and just went back home. And here's the part where you just throw a bunch of stuff on the ground for the scholar. I think it's sad that they didn't give like any function to stone sword keys on this map. Like even if they didn't want to do Everjails, they could have done like the other main thing that stone swords get used in like regular Elden Ring, where you can just find like treasure chests behind fog walls. I think that would have been like a fun thing to do with them. Someone asked how long I've been doing art for, and kind of, I guess, since I was a child. But I've never, like, actually formally gotten good at art. So I have a lot of bad practices in my art. I do think that I did, I spent a lot more time on the PNG tuber, which is like one of the bad practices that I have in art is that I don't want to spend time, I just want it to be good right off the bat, and that's not a way to make it good. It is nice of them that, like, alongside Scholar, they added 2 bosses that have a bunch of people present. Result gets to really put in a lot of work. This is one of the few grabs that you can mash out of. There's a very small number of them. Alright. I didn't want to use it while he's this low, but... it's a little bit of a waste, y'all. But we fought Draglord enough that I'm not too worried. Someone says they thought there were only a few you couldn't mash out of. No, it is heavily weighted in favor of, like, the overwhelming majority of them can't be mashed out of. Such a weird mechanic. They have the, like, throw escape stuff, and then it's rarely ever relevant. And that way, since Dark Souls 1, the first game to allow you to get out of grabs. That was an awkward little moment with the geometry. In Demon Souls, you could, there's like a glitch where if you got grabbed while you were in the iframes, you would just have your iframes during the grab. So you could sort of get out of grabs that way, but it looked incredibly silly. There's like maybe something to them like formally deciding to have a mechanic to get out of grabs that way. I'm so bad at picking when to ult on this guy. Always right before he decides that he's gonna go Malakath mode. Ah. I think that Draglord is very interesting in that it is a fight that looks a lot scarier than it is. Like, Draglord does a lot to make you feel like he is imposing. Then his attacks are all very fair. Yeah, for both of these bosses, I felt like I could see where they could continue them. Like, how they could easily do an Everdark of them. And when you beat one of the temples, you get a little bonus reward at the end. And if you beat both of them, you obviously get both rewards. Alright, the people that I'm playing with have decided to take a break for a bit, so I can look around in the chat again for a bit. Oh yeah, a fun thing that you can do in this game that's not probably immediately obvious is that you can change your name at any time. So that's why we're all Pokemon for this one. I think that I will actually also take a little bit of a break. Won't be long, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Need to refill the water that, like, I got a little bit of water, but not nearly enough for the whole stream earlier. Alright, I'm back and freshly watered. I'm going to tell you a story about executive dysfunction. I don't know if most of you are familiar with the term, but it's basically when you know that you need to do something, you want to do that something, and then your brain says that you simply are not allowed to do that. And so there's a the like water dispenser in my fridge is one where I have to place the cup below the fridge, or like below the dispenser, and then hold down the button. And the fact that I have to hold down the button is enough that my brain is like, we're just not gonna get water. It's just not allowed. I used to have a filter that was like on the nozzle for the sink. You'd just turn it on, you'd put the cup below it and turn it, and then it would just fill on its own. And I drank a lot more water when I had that filter than I do now when I have the fancier fridge water thing. But that's life. I did in fact manage to get water this time. I can do it when I have to, but because it's slightly inconvenient, I'm not able to just like incidentally go get it. Someone has asked what my thoughts on the new characters are in the DLC, and I haven't played them. I can't comment. I'm joking, actually, though. I feel like the premise of Undertaker sounds incredibly overpowered. The like constant alting, but it's like I think balanced out a little bit by the fact that it's essentially single target. But she's like a very straightforward character. And then Scholar is the opposite. It's very easy to not see what Scholar is doing for the team. Like, there's a lot of subtle little bits that Scholar is able to do that contribute a lot. Like, the whole thing of the just damage on any enemy that his ult touches is incredibly strong, because you can like run over, tag an entire camp, and then they just passively die, and you get an insane amount of runes. And then also, you have the fully leveled warming stones. Then the warming stones begin to do 2 revive damage per second, which is not enough to get anybody back from 2 or 3 bars on its own, but essentially makes it so that you never lose progress on when you're trying to revive somebody. So it's incredibly strong, actually, for the for like getting someone up from 3 bars. Kind of don't want to do it, but there's part of me that's like thinking I should end the stream like right now. Just kind of my throat was already hurting like before, and I don't know. I think that I could probably go for like a while still, but I can at least like sit here for a little bit and sip my water. That's something that I need to add. I need to have a costume button for the PNG tuber, where it also gets a little like water cup on there. Let me see how my friends that I'm playing with are feeling. I've noticed that throughout the run, or throughout the stream in general, rather. Oh, is Let Me Solo here? Let me solo her here. Hello. Thank you. Happy to see you here. Yeah, I felt like throughout the stream I have been speaking a lot more energetically and a lot more, you know, forcefully than I usually do. And maybe that's a bit of it that's excitement, and some of it that's like trying to be presentery. Whereas I'm usually a little more quiet and thin. That's maybe strained things just a little bit more. But I could potentially, like, do another run, but I guess it's probably better to be cautious now and then come back to it another day. Yeah, I think that there's always room for more. I'm not sure when the next stream will be, but I guess then I'll work on kind of what I think my schedule is going to look like from now. But I'll announce it. I think that I'll try to make more use of the YouTube community stuff, and then also like Blue Sky and Twitter. Oh, I should also have a little bit of music probably. That is another thing to sort out. I need to have that like properly ready to go. That was maybe a weird one to pick. This is the salon theme from Pokemon Sword and Shield, I believe. And I had it for the video where I was shaving NPCs from Manscaped sponsor. Still, in retrospect, a very silly idea for a stream or for a video in general. Anyway, I will, I guess, bare minimum, try to aim for doing another stream on Sunday. I was honestly thinking about hopping into the Pokemon DLC, maybe sometime during the week, depending on how things are looking and how my throat is feeling. Anyway, it's been wonderful to have you all here, and this is something that I've been very excited about and very scared of doing for a long time. But the scariest part was, you know, putting myself out there. So now that that's done, there's no taking it back. So there's not a similar price to trying again next time. Anyway, have a nice rest of your day, I guess. Need to figure out how to actually sign off the stream, I suppose. Bye bye.